everyone, Britta Albert here. If this is your first time here, I'm a spiritual transformational life coach. It's my goal for this channel to help you overcome the obstacles that are standing in the way of you living your best and most authentic life. In today's video, I want to talk about the collective consciousness, what that is, how does it affect you, and how do you affect it. Collective consciousness is what it sounds like. It's the overall consciousness of the collective, of every person, everything that is living, plants, animals, you name it. We are all composed of energy. This is known. You have experienced the collective consciousness, whether you've been aware that you've experienced it or whether you've had no idea that you've experienced it. Some of the best examples that I can give of experiencing the collective consciousness are generally going to be negative experiences with the collective consciousness. Why? Well, when you experience something positive, you generally don't question it. If you're walking down the street or you walk into a room and that room just has a really happy vibe, you go with it, you embrace it. There's no resistance to it, you don't question it. But when you walk into a room and the saying is you can cut the tension with a knife, it means that there's a thick atmosphere to the room. There's a heavy density in that room. If there's a fight that just happened in a room and you didn't see the fight nor hear anything about it, but you walk into that room and you can feel the tenseness of everybody in that room, something inside of you sounds an alarm. And you instantly are a little bit on edge, you're a little bit distrusting, you're very cautious of the situation that you just walked into. It doesn't necessarily feel safe, and it definitely does not feel comfortable at the very least. That is tapping into the collective consciousness. There is a localized consciousness of energy in that room from everybody who was in that room. And you're simply tapping into feeling what belongs to other people. You could get an anxiety attack and have these fears pop up in your mind, and these thoughts come in your mind that aren't yours at all, has nothing to do with you. Especially if you're trying to do shadow work and you're trying to heal yourself and you get these thoughts, you're like, where did that come from? I thought I healed that. Be gracious with yourself because it might not even be your own thought. This is happening right now with the world here in 2020. If you're watching this video later, this will still make sense, but for right now, for our now moment in this world that we're in, this is very applicable to us. There's a lot of people who are experiencing shifts, and all of us are experiencing change on some level. Even if none of this has really affected your day-to-day life, if nothing else, then it's a mere inconvenience to try to find toilet paper a couple weeks ago. There's some sort of change that has affected all of us globally. So what happens to that energy? Well, it's moving all around us. It cannot be created nor destroyed. It was something that was already within us. We already are energy. And now it's flowing in a certain direction, in a certain way because of our experiences collectively. It's the same thing that happens when you walk into an elevator. This is my other favorite example. If you walk into an elevator and somebody just told a joke and the people are smiling, yes, there's social cues that we pick up on subconsciously in our minds. You can have no idea what's going on, but if you walk into an elevator with a bunch of smiling people, which really isn't common, you feel a sense of ease, you feel trusting, you feel happy to be temporary companions with these people. Most of the time, elevators are a bit awkward. You're stepping into an elevator with a small group of strangers. Yeah, you may make some small talk. You might not make some small talk. You might be hoping nobody makes small talk. You might be hoping they don't make eye contact with you. You might be the one making eye contact with somebody else and they're hoping you don't make eye contact with them. Elevators are weird. So if you get on an elevator and nobody's smiling, that's actually fairly common. But just the same situation as something that happened in that room if you walked in on a fight. What if you walked in an elevator and it's a man and a woman and there's a really strange vibe? Maybe it was a husband and wife and they just were fighting. You don't know, but you're just picking up on this energy and it makes you feel really awkward, like you just caught somebody doing something that you had no business seeing. That, again, is another example of collective consciousness. As you're doing your shadow work, as you're doing your healing, if you think anything that is not in alignment with your normal thoughts, your consistent thoughts, or the way that you've been behaving or feeling, most of the time it's not yours. So it's okay to take a step back and ask yourself, is this thought that I'm thinking true? Do I really believe this thought? And right now, it's probably going to be something that's more fear-based, anxiety, anger, even rage. And if that's not in alignment with where you're at and what you're trying to heal, it probably doesn't belong to you. So what do? How do you clear this thought and this energy that doesn't belong to you? We just understand that it's energy and simply let it go. Let it pass through you. Understand that you don't own that. It's not you. It has no effect on you other than what you give it. You just simply allow it to continue moving. If you look at electricity, if allowed, if there's a clear pathway, energy will keep moving. You don't have to let the energy stop inside your vessel. When you acknowledge what it is and you feel it, it starts bumping around in your body and making you feel all whatever kind of way that you're feeling that's not like you. There's no explanation for it. Understand it's not yours and just release it. Let it go. How do you let it go? Allow yourself to feel it. Just allow yourself to feel it with no judgment, simply observation. Okay, I observe that I'm feeling really anxious right now, but I have nothing to feel anxious about. I observe that I'm feeling very angry right now, and I have nothing to feel angry about. I just feel angry. Go somewhere where you're not going to hurt other people or anything like that, and just allow yourself. Can you allow yourself to feel whatever that emotion is without judgment, knowing that it doesn't belong to you, and simply allow it to leave your body? Once you allow yourself to feel it, and say again, if it is anger, if it's rage, go into a closet, take a pillow with you, scream into the pillow if you need to, whatever you need to do to get it out of your body and allow it to go without resistance. That's what you do, and it will leave you. And it does not take very long at all. I've made videos about this before, and it's something that I've seen come up again and again, just questions about this. What is the collective consciousness? No matter what belief system you hold, no matter what religious belief system you hold or scientific belief system that you hold, or if you even hold a belief system about the collective, it is inarguable that we affect one another. You cannot live in a community and not be affected by the community that you live in. So now comes a part where you have power. Because as you remember when I first started this video, I said, what does that mean for you and for the world? Well, we don't have to be subject to the feelings and the ways that everybody is going, because that is being swept away by the tide. You being awakened to the fact that this is not your energy. You don't need to be swept away with the tidal wave of emotions anymore. You get to stand up and realize that this tidal wave of emotion only goes knee deep. If you're not careful, you can slip and it'll take you away again. But even if it does, that's okay, because you can always stand back up. Being aware that you have this ability, being aware of what the energy is, you now get to choose not to participate in it. You allow it to leave your body, you allow yourself to feel it, you allow it to process and go. But you can also raise the vibration and the frequency. Do you understand? It's not just that you're a vessel that it moves through. You can actually influence it before you send it back out in the world. You can transmute that energy, that whatever that negative energy is, that is the collective consciousness. You can then, if you choose to, once you understand what it is, and once you understand that it has nothing to do with you, you understand that it doesn't belong to you, and you understand it belongs to the collective, you can transmute that energy and raise the frequency of it into love. So if I am feeling anxious and I don't know why, I can stop and I can sit with it and I can allow it to be. I can allow it, I can honor it and allow it to exist. And I can thank it for being there. And I can release it with love back out into the world, or I can put my hands over my heart, take deep breaths, and I can be in love with humanity. And I can be in love with our planet. And I can send that out into the world. Because just as my neighbor's fear is coming into my space, my love and compassion can comfort them as well. And if I'm feeling their fear and anxiety, I can guarantee you they probably need some love and guidance and reassurance and comfort and compassion. Don't you think? This is a symbiotic relationship that we have with each other. Argue it or accept it. It doesn't matter. It exists. The sun doesn't need you to believe in it to shine. Gravity doesn't need you to believe in it to hold you in place. Air doesn't need you to believe in it to fill your lungs. We are energy. We affect each other. Talk yourself through something that you're feeling. Ask yourself, does this belong to you? Does this make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, it's not yours, let it go. And then when you're ready and you feel confident enough in that, send out love. Because there are people that need it, I promise you. I hope this video was helpful for you understanding more about the collective consciousness, and that a lot of the times these ideas, these feelings, and these thoughts don't necessarily belong to us. What to do with them, how to transmute them, how to let them go. Understand the power that you have. You are not helpless, and you are not a victim, and you are strong. I love you all so much. Again, if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if there's somebody that you think needs to hear this message, please share this video with them. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time.